everyone. We are here to discuss a very interesting topic. This is about the career. Is it my voice or others' choice? So it's very important that we make conscious decisions, but it so often happens that we end up, or people who get into careers end up not making their own decisions. So here we are looking at the different angles about this topic. In fact, just a thought had come to me, like in the words of Confucius. If you have to work for a job which you really like, you don't have to work a single day. It's such a beautiful thought, I mean, if you look at it. But in reality, does it happen? It's a big question. Because it's a fabulous world if everybody could have a career like that. But ultimately, it's an utopian thing. It doesn't happen that way. We have with us 6 wonderful students who are in the TIMESPRO program, the PGTBA, it's a banking program. They're going to debate on this. They're going to give their own ideas. So let's start it. All yours.
How many of you think is career is only confined to a person's choice, completely personal?
I guess it is to a personal choice, because career is one's own choice. He has to decide what he has to do.
Okay. Do you think it is a decision-making capacity will be at any age of a person?
See, it is our career, our life. Okay, it is very important that we take advice from our elders and people like from our parents and all. But the ultimate decision, I think, we should be taking the ultimate decision of our career.
Yeah, I completely kind of disagree with you, because most of the important phase of our education start at a career where we are not in a position to decide what's correct and what's wrong. Suppose you are an intermediate. See, we have many options: MPC, BPC, BA, arts, and all. So at that point of time, you are not in a position to decide what's correct, what's wrong. The elders who have done it and who have a better experience in it and have faced
what I see is, I'm not telling that the entire burden of taking the decision should lie on the person itself. You take advice from your elders, but the decision should be made ultimately by you.
Exactly.
No, I want to slightly disagree with you, because career is not only that gives you money. Career is what your life. It is the most important. It is the life you have. So you should have your heart in it, not others' voice in it.
It is very important that you don't come under influence in taking your own decisions.
You done that at last.
This kind of maturity comes at a much higher age. Most of the decisions are taken at very low age, because at the age of 20-25, you cannot go back and change your course of intermediate or 10th class.
See, it is very important that you do a certain amount of research before taking the decision.
That's what I'm saying. It comes
Decision always follows that research.
At what age did you decide to come into banking course?
I decided when I was in intermediate itself.
Actually, I would like to add some few points over here on what Suman actually said. Sometimes you actually have to consider even the risk involved. No matter how pure you are or how committed you are to your career, sometimes even expert decision is required to know how far you can go with it. That was just a single person's decision.
See, there are different types of career options, right? And right from a very young age, you must be knowing what your interests are. So you shape your career that way, where your interest lies.
In that kind of situation, let me say an example. I have a small kid, my neighbor. He just go to a film where a hero is a doctor. Then he comes home and decides that I am going to be a doctor in future. Next day he'll go to a police film and say I am going to become a police. Now finally, as
we are not talking about kids who are 5-6 years old. Okay, we are talking about individuals who are 17-18 years
I think
old.
at this point I would like to intervene, because one of the person is talking about perceptual defenses. The question here is at what age do our perceptual defenses in terms of defending a decision happen? That's a very big question. All said and done, we have that fanciful world of all kinds of factors that including, I don't have anything against Bollywood or the movies, but at one age, something which looks very beautiful may not be actually so fanciful throughout your life. Like what he was saying, it has to be a very careful, it's a very important decision. Yeah, go ahead.
I was
irrespective of your age, the most wonderful gift we have is our intuition destiny. Irrespective of age, even a kid knows what he wants to do in his life or in her life. So once, that's a saying, you cannot judge a fish with its capacity to climb the tree. So once you started taking advice from them, you can turn into a life of very depressed thing.
Exactly.
But
I-
this
I-
rarely happens in a real-time scenario. You see that whenever there is a special incident, decisions are mostly dependent upon the incidents prevailing at that point of time. See, when even during the 26/11, everything happened. The commandos, the small kids saw commandos coming up, so many of them thought that army would be a good option. I will be serving my country. But the family situation constrained, everything matters. We are living in a society, so your decision also impacts the others. You can't leave your family sometimes. Considering all that factors, where a decision should be taken not by the individual. Experts like our elders, our parents who have much more experience in a particular field should intervene in the career. Definitely at one point of time.
No, I would disagree with this because as far as I am concerned, career is a passion oriented. It is not an opportunity or a risk level oriented. It is just a passion. As we have read in our small age, Robert Frost's novel, The Road Not Taken. It is purely about career choice. Who will be able to decide others? We know what we like, not our parents. We know what we want. Suppose take Andhra Pradesh itself. I'm not talking about any other states. In Andhra Pradesh, most of the people take engineering and BPC, in MBC and BPC.
That
So
is
engineering
nothing
and
but
doctors.
just following the crowd.
Following the
herd.
crowd, following the herd. And what happened? Engineering is now saturated. There are no jobs. People are shifting to the software industry. Their branch is different, and what they're doing is different.
Those
And what the
students-
doctors are doing? Most of the doctors are empty right now. Nobody is building a hospital. It's a saturation and economic waste when you're following the crowd. When the creativeness is suppressed and weakness, self decision making is weakened, and the self-respect
I would
is
like to-
lowered.
I would
There's
like
low
to add
self-attitude for
something
people
to-
like this.
I would like to add something to Anuruddh. See, most of the students who have joined engineering in those days, they might have come under the influence of their parents
Friend,
and
their
peers,
friend.
parents and peers, because that person is going for engineering. I should also go for engineering.
I would also
that-
add to her and what he is saying that status also plays some
Yeah,
role
status also
because
plays. Yeah, status,
some
obviously.
others are doing it, so let us also
Let
just
us
follow
also
That's why I
do
say
it.
that.
If somebody
Yeah.
is studying,
Career is passion oriented.
if somebody is studying
Simple.
arts or
Sure.
science, people used to see, oh, is it arts? Oh, I'm not studying engineering like that. So that also becomes a status symbol.
I would actually
that
want to
time.
contradict on what she was saying. The first thing is people actually are mature to take their own decisions, irrespective of their passion or else from the experience given to any senior person. And the second thing is that people are actually seeing reality because there are sectors which need some shift. Okay, if you're actually going for a banking sector or any other sector, you have a fits and falls for this. When we actually go with the market, okay, especially the youth today, if it all some sector is doing good, we enter into that. If some sector else is doing it, we jump into the second sector. We actually see our own desire, our own risk, and our own decisions. So it's not that we are not that comfortable when we're shifting.
Well, Deepthi, I agree with you to a certain
Yes.
extent because there are people who are the original with their original idea of differentiating things, but ultimately there are a lot of people who do follow also because perhaps you are one of them who have made a conscious decision about looking at all the pros and cons. But how often are friends who have been influenced by you, perhaps? How often have they done that?
But there is no specific date for
advertisement.
maturity because we don't know. A person
That's
matured
all
some at
experience.
other life. He may mature at any time of his life.
Considering
When
the
there
other
are
side
under purview of continuous experts, they will definitely mature as far as possible, no?
No,
They will
let's
get their
not tell
ideas
them
as far as
mature.
possible.
Let's take
See what decision I take now may be wrong tomorrow. Nobody knows.
So
The time which has to decide.
Considering
And
the
if
other
you're
side of
if you're passionate career, whatever may the situation, see now as a film industry is saturated, but how many new actors are coming? It's creative, it's a passion. If you think a film
So how
industry is of
many of
success
them are
rate,
getting
it's a
successful
low
in
success
that
rate in the
field?
film industry, but there are many new actors coming because it's only passion.
I would like
But
to add
passion
few
comes-
things on those things. Take for Sachin as an instance. If we encourage him, he is good at golf also. But we encourage him. If we listen to the encouragement and he started playing golf, he will not feel his life very satisfied because
very-
he is-
That's a
really
wonderful.
good.
See, that's a
Artist-
wonderful thought that I would like to add. That one of the German poet has said that if you get up early in the morning and then think about writing, you are a writer. So this is also quoted in Sister Act movie. I mean, it's a very beautiful thought. If you have something in you, it shows up one day or the other. It's just that you need to make sure, yes, this is it, out of me.
One should realize.
we cannot generalize the topic zeroing in on the very specific individual persons. Okay, considering the other side of the coin, in the purview of taking the decisions, people normally get inspired and take the less trodden path.
There is a difference between getting inspired and being influenced. Okay, coming under influence is different from getting inspired. See, what we are saying is better not come under influence when you are taking decisions regarding your career.
What I'm
Getting
saying is
inspired is okay.
Career starts at a
Getting
stage.
inspired, you have some
See,
interest
if
within
you have
you.
choice, if you are choosing career of others' choice, then career will be unemployed. If you have your own career passion, then you can create an opportunity for others.
I will give you an example for this. One of my friends has taken his interest, passion, everything was photography. He used to spend hours together in photographing film and everything. What he's doing currently, after 10 years of doing all those, he still shoots for small short films and those things.
But he enjoys doing it. Money is
But
not the
we can't
matter.
call it passion if he
He's
leaves
not
it.
able to meet his
We can
daily
call it
minimum
career or passion
requirements.
if he leaves it.
He's not able to meet his daily minimum
See,
requirements
there
with
are
those
many
money.
ways to earn money, but there is only one passion.
Suman,
Okay.
I think
And
you're
if you
not,
take up your
you're
passion
not,
as your career,
you're
then
not
definitely
clear
you're
about
successful.
the impact of career.
That was
I
a
think.
bad decision making.
Because
So
see,
finally, there is a conclusion here saying that passion should not be mixed in career now.
It should
Yeah.
be.
How can that
I
be
just
now?
have one word to say, because I understand that there has been a slight consensus about career and then the passion part of
Yeah.
it. But just another angle to it, I understand that the statistics from Ministry of Home Affairs has revealed that in around 2009 there has been a high rates of suicide.
Yeah.
And this was in connection with careers.
Yes.
And then again in 2011, there has been a 5%, almost 20% of the suicide rate, which is recorded in from the National Bureau, has been recorded because that is because of the bad decisions or the career kind of situations. So how do we look at this? If let us say this is the starting point again, how do you look at this?
Suicidal tendency is something which depends upon the ability to take the pressure.
No. Suman,
It is not against the unwillingness.
See,
He is not satisfied with what he's doing and he can't do it.
If he is not able to take this pressure, at some point of the other time in the other part of his life, he has to deal with the pressure.
No, life is not about taking a pressure. Life is about living happily.
You
See,
can't-
if you have taken works of others and you started a career in some other not of your own choice, it will be keep on picking your heart.
See,
You are not
No,
made for this. You are not made for this.
considering the madam's
Each and
example.
every minute it will be picking out. Consider my own experience.
Instead
I have
of-
started my career in IT, but IT is not my dream. It's not my destiny. It will be keep on picking you.
I would
For
also
3
like
years
to
I have
contradict,
had very tough nights and days. Then only I started realize, okay, banking is my destiny.
You realized
So I
your
just
interest and came to banking.
yeah, and then I started my career here.
This is something different, what I'm trying to say from the convince that from the madam's point of view is people generally commit suicide, that's not because of I think pressure or something. There's something related to their mental tendency.
You will
That
feel
is-
pressure
that
only
is
if
not
you are
even
not
just
living your
pressure.
dream.
If this has happened today, it might happen sometime afterwards also.
It
In
will-
fact, I would like to just add one thing, that in that particular record, there has also in 2011 record, that is the divorce rate has been another reason, with more than 50% or 56% has been recorded owing to divorces. Like the reasons have been specific, whether it has been a bad career decision or whether it has been a bad boss, that is not clear. But the career as such has been one of the major thing that has influenced them to commit a suicide. That is unfortunate, definitely, because this is a record. This is a survey that has been conducted nationally. And to this, how do you think, I mean, if I look at that angle of it, unfortunate, it is definitely unfortunate. But coming back, we don't want to digress. The topic here is about the career, whether you want to listen to others or whether you have to take the decision. So, yeah, you
Completely
have
say
something.
that we need not listen to others, implement whatever they say. At least to some extent, we must take the inputs.
Right.
It must completely not our opinion and completely not theirs. It
Have
should be
they,
a
okay,
blend.
that's a good way of
That is
saying
our
it.
voice.
In fact, did any of y'all have a situation where you had to change your career decisions?
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead. Go.
Now, the only reason I actually changed my career decisions was because I actually seen the risk involved. Okay, the first thing. And the second thing is I actually found that whatever I have taken, now those have changed because I was a bit immature. Okay, so I feel that it's important for everyone to actually take decisions from experienced people and then adapt to the next level.
Alright.
That is
So
really
she has
important.
already taken a decision and they realized that okay, something better could be done and she has
Yes.
already done it. But how often do people get this chance is another question.
Yes, imagine in a case when both the parents are doctors, what will they guide their children to be in? Then what if the kid does not like to be getting into the field of the medical field?
That
Then
is
what will he go?
that is what we are saying. We are trying to put it.
We are trying to
If both the parents are doctors, the child need not necessarily be a doctor.
Yeah.
He can choose his own career path. He wants to be an engineer. He can be an engineer.
But
that
what
freedom,
kind of a
that
situation
freedom,
will be, what kind of a guidance will be
that
to
freedom
him?
should be given to the child. Is the point here.
Do you think
The
everyone gets that
parents
freedom?
can guide the child. Parents should keep all the career options
No one
open to
gives,
the
but-
child, and it should be the child's decision ultimately.
No one gets a chance to decide, because if parents do not get, there are teachers, there are other people in the world, those he can get influenced or inspired through.
Advice we are talking about not layman advice. The advice here mean the persons who are much more experienced, who are concerned about us, right?
There is a friend of mine. Okay, this is a live example. She is very much interested in fashion designing and interior designing and all that. But she was forced to come and join commerce, and now she is being forced to study CA. She doesn't like it at all, but still she is being forced to do it.
But the result will be.
The thing is, the story differs from person to person.
And there is one more
Individual
person.
to individual and risk level to risk level.
She might be
can't
feeling
just
the
take one
pressure right
example
now.
and then decide
What
that
do you
this is
think
right,
will be
this is
her?
wrong.
See, but she cannot take up chartered accountancy and become a chartered accountant. Chartered accountancy is something very, it needs a lot of hard work. She cannot put it all that without putting her heart into it.
Right, but
if you start taking others' advice, some other day, if even after 5 years, someone expert in some other field will come and advise you, you will listen to him also. Then you will not be living your dream. You will not be living your life at all.
It is very
It's a
important.
highly unsatisfied life.
But
It is very important that one should have his own individuality, and he should be assertive enough in choosing his career path, and he should be able to tell a no to somebody who is influencing him, whoever the person is.
Right, but when the decision is like very raw decision, like into fashion designing, I'm not saying that it's a wrong decision or something, but the career perspective of it, you work hard, you study, you're
Career
studying
opportunities
today.
are there everywhere.
You're studying today to
There
earn
are
tomorrow.
career
What if
opportunities
the expert
everywhere.
people or anyone who's guiding the person know that no, this career is not going to do in the future?
There's nothing like
There's nothing
good
like no
career,
career
bad
like
career
that.
these
I'm
days.
not
Every
saying
career
that
can
is a
be
good
done.
career or a bad career.
Depends
What
on the person's
See,
choice.
every
Your
day
first
there
one
are
is if
there are a
you
variety
can
of
make
career
skills.
opportunities
At
and
this
there are
point,
a
I
lot
would
of
like to
career.
only request let us one of them complete it so that it's just getting a little confusing. Yeah, I think let's drive your point. You're saying about finally in one
There is
line.
nothing like good career and bad career.
Right.
There are a variety of opportunities everywhere in each and every career.
Okay, that's what about the fashion and fashion.
Yeah.
What I would like to add to that is, like we are working hard today to earn something tomorrow. So our parents, our elders know that if my child is able in this field, so they'll be guiding you on that lines only. My father didn't force me to take up an IAS course or do something harder. He thought that banking or IT sector will be suited for me. He gave me two options: go for this or that. I selected that banking.
Yeah, that is what we are trying to say.
Yeah.
Your parents can give
I
you.
was justifying your example. You said that fashion industry.
No,
How well do you think
If that
she
is
can
the
scale up
case, you are
in
thinking of
fashion?
only about money.
Your
Your
point is
parents
that
are
yes,
literally programming you to do something they want. You don't have any heart, you don't have any mind.
No,
They are just programming
I
you.
would like to have another side of it. See, perhaps, just for an assumption's sake, since everybody's parents, respective parents, they know their children better. So I just look at it that way. Maybe there is an aptitude to it. There's something called an aptitude and a certain kind of attitude about certain careers in different people. Assuming that he is having that aptitude, and perhaps as a father, he must have understood that yes, it is a very close match. Ultimately, what happens is that if you are in the right career, it shows up in your job, it shows up not just in your life, but if you understand that once you enter, just like this, it's a group discussion. We cannot be just conscious about what we are talking, but we need to just go around, be conscious about the group. Similarly, once you are getting into the organizations, it's the group that is going to get affected, overall picture. So if the organization can benefit from your decision, nothing like it. So one point that I perhaps feel that we have slightly missed is, what if we have made a bad decision? Do we have a chance to revoke it? I think with that part of it, we can go take it home. Yeah.
Yeah, of course we can revoke from there because.
Do you have anybody whom you know that who have
Yeah, I
taken
have my own experience.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
the minute I'm sitting in IT desk,
Right.
it will be even the coolest person sitting beside me will be very irritating for me.
Sure.
So it will be over pressure, overburden for me. Once I think of moving away from that, I started, okay, there is a life which is more beautiful than this thing is there.
It is very
Considering that
important that it is very important that you have your heart in whatever you're doing. Okay, you just cannot do it forcefully.
I'm not saying that
to somebody else.
Statement of here. The thing is, for certain people, career is not just a career; it's their bread and butter. Okay, the decisions we're doing is only for the bread and butter. For some people, passion is different, and their home and their bread and butter is the same. If you just see from that point of view, I think following the passion will be a bad option for them.
I think she has made a very important point in terms of the Indian economy, because a lot of the decisions that our people or the Indians take is because, first of all, to improve the economic status. I have to understand, we have to understand the point that yes, there are a lot of large number of people who are still really struggling.
Yes.
And we somehow place ourselves slightly better, that we just need to feel good about it, but otherwise yes, it's not a very rosy picture. So that's a good point that she has contributed.
Considering the present economic situations, you see, earning is more important in our scenario. You know, earning bread and butter, you know, you can't be chasing your dreams 24/7, leaving behind your family responsibilities. So at that point of time, definitely you need someone to intervene.
What we are saying is,
And considering the Simbu scenario, sometimes, you know, you go too long that you can't come back. What if Simbu's married and he has 2-4 kids, and you know he wants to leave all those things and, you know, get back to banking? No, he can't do that. So, you know, I think at some point of the other, you need someone to intervene and, you know, correct you, guide you in a proper way.
yes, I agree with you that sometimes your passion cannot be taken up as your career, but you know, in those cases it's okay. You need not mix up your passion and career.
So,
No, but it differs from people to people.
Yeah, it differs.
Yeah,
No,
sure.
it depends on the academic
Sure it
status
does.
more
So-
than
Definitely. I mean, rounding up all your viewpoints, I understand that some of you all had a feeling that career and passion are somewhere close. Yes, if a person is passionate about something, he should pursue it as his career, and nothing like it, absolutely,
Nothing like that.
and nothing like it. But at the same time, we also have the other set of school of thought that you were having in terms of economic requirements, because we are grounded, we are rooted to our country. All said and done, this is very important, and then we also see that though we have been lucky enough to have choices, I would say to a certain extent. But how many really have this is the big question. But okay, taking it a little further, if you look at it, people have already entered a career, then what? Even that part, some of you all have very nicely put, saying that, yeah, okay, now that they have made the decision, what is it better that we can do in order to improvise this? Or to take it in a way which, I think we have covered certain points. If I have missed out on anything, have I? I mean, in case. So rounding it up, this has been a wonderful debate, and I thank all of you all for an excellent participation and a completely different point of views all of you all have been contributing to. Thank you so much.
Thank you.